When did I love you turn into, did you switch the laundry over? Or even worse, when did romance get buried under kids and chores and Netflix? And here's the good news. Keeping the spark alive doesn't take a vacation, a big budget, or some Hollywood-style moment. It just takes tiny, intentional gestures that say, hey, I still choose you. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 small, simple ways to pursue each other and stay connected in Christ. Because when we stop the little things, we slowly start feeling like roommates instead of soulmates. And I don't know about you, but I want more than a roommate. I want a marriage that's fun and intimate and romantic and Christ-centered. So, if you've ever wondered, with our busy lives, is it even possible to keep romance alive? Or maybe you've thought, is it really worth the effort? Does it even make a difference? Or maybe, how do we make romance simple and intentional instead of awkward and complicated? Well, good news, because in this video, you're going to discover, 1, how to keep romance strong even when life is busy. There's no extra time required, just a shift in mindset. 2, why small gestures actually matter more than big romantic moments. Here's a hint. God uses little daily acts of love to build big intimacy. And then 3, I'm going to show you 5 simple, doable ways to stay connected to your spouse and to Christ so you can feel like teammates, lovers, and best friends again. All right, let's jump in. So when we first got married, romance felt effortless. I planned surprises, left cute little notes around. We flirted all the time. We were basically professional cuddlers. But then life happened. Work, kids, schedules, laundry, so much laundry. And then suddenly we weren't thinking about romance. We were just trying to survive the day. Can you relate? And for a while I thought something was wrong with us. Like, why doesn't it feel the way it used to feel? And then it hit me. Romance didn't just die. I stopped pursuing. It's kind of like college football. I love college football. At the beginning of the season, like the first couple months going in and right in the beginning of the season, the energy's high. The crowds are loud. The hype is real. The excitement seems to carry the team. But the team that actually wins championships, they don't depend on hype. They focus on daily fundamentals, small, consistent practice, the little things, over and over and over. Marriage is the same way. Early on, passion comes naturally, but long-term connection, that takes intentional, daily pursuit, grounded in Christ. See, romance doesn't fade because love disappears. Romance fades when we stop doing the small things that keep us connected. And that's why today I want to show you 5 simple gestures that make a big difference in your marriage. All right, you ready? So let's build this thing back up together. First, you have to shift your mindset because romance changes over time. If you're comparing it to when you first got married, you're just going to be frustrated. Before we jump into the 5 gestures, we need to start with that mindset shift. When you were newly married, romance was driven by emotions. The butterflies, the excitement, the mystery. You didn't even have to try. It was just involuntary. It just happened. But as life gets full, romance shifts from emotional to intentional. And hear me, that's not a bad thing. That's called maturity. When romance was based on feelings, it was temporary. But when romance is based on intentionality and Christ-like love, guess what? It becomes stronger, deeper, and way more meaningful. So if it doesn't feel like it used to you, nothing's wrong with you. You're just in a new season. And new seasons, they need new habits. So romance isn't automatic anymore. Now it requires pursuit. And pursuit is powerful because what does pursuit say? Pursuit says, I choose you. So if romance requires intentionality, how do we know what to be intentional about? Let's talk about that. We have to understand how each spouse feels connection. So have you ever noticed men and women don't always connect in the same way? Men often feel connected through physical intimacy, while women often feel connected through emotional intimacy. And sometimes we miss each other because we're both waiting to feel connected instead of doing the little things that create that connection. But here's the good news. Both husbands and wives want the same thing, to feel seen and valued and pursued. So God designed us to reflect His love. He pursues us daily in small ways, and we're called to do the same for each other. So if we both want connection, why do we still drift apart? Because we often think romance has to be big and elaborate, but it doesn't. See, some people think romance equals like a weekend getaway or an expensive dinner. So in our back pasture here on the farm, we have a pond. And typically in the winter, it'll rain a ton, which fills the pond to overflowing. However, during the long, hot days of summer, that water begins to evaporate and the pond goes down several feet. And while the rainy months are great, the pond needs some consistent days of rain throughout the spring and summer and those hot days of the fall to keep it full. Your marriage is the same way. Those big romantic moments, they're great, but they're rare. And if romance only happens on special occasions, your marriage is going to feel empty in between, right? It's the small daily gestures that keep your hearts close, or even simpler. Small deposits in your love bank account, they add up fast. The little things done consistently are always more powerful than the big things done occasionally. So what are some of those little things that actually make a big difference? All right, let's get really practical. One, use words that pursue. See, words are powerful. A simple, I appreciate how hard you work, or I'm so proud of you, or I love the way you fill in the blank, right? It can change the atmosphere in your home. Text them during the day, just because. Leave a note on the mirror. Speak life. Call out what you see in them, the wonderful things. Why? Because words create safety, and safety opens the door to intimacy. You don't have to write poetry. Just be sincere. Now, words are powerful, but sometimes connections happens without saying a single thing. So here's another one. Create tiny moments of physical affection. So not every touch has to lead to the bedroom, but it's fun when it does. Sometimes the most romantic thing you can do is hold hands while you pray, or give a longer than usual hug, or while you're sitting on the couch, put your hand over on their knee. Why do these things matter? Because physical affection keeps your heart soft. It says, I'm here. I'm here with you. I'm safe. And let's be real. When physical touch disappears, distance grows fast. So start small. A hug, a kiss on the cheek, sit close on the couch during a show. It's not about intensity. It's about connection. See, physical affection is powerful, but love just isn't what we say or how we touch. Sometimes love looks like doing something. So this leads us to gesture number 3. Do one small act of service for your spouse today. You want to see your spouse fall in love with you over and over again? Do their least favorite chore without being asked. Bring them coffee, fold the laundry, warm up the car on a cold morning. Why does this matter? Because service says, I see you. I care about what you carry. I'm willing to make your day easier. And this is Christ-like love. See, Jesus didn't just say he loved us. He showed it by serving. So when you serve your spouse, you're reflecting what? the heart of Jesus in your marriage. Now, we've talked about words, we've talked about touch, we've talked about serving, and all those are beautiful. But sometimes the most romantic thing you can do is have a little fun. So here's gesture number 4. Surprise them in simple ways. So romance doesn't have to be serious all the time. It can be playful. It can be fun. So leave a sticky note with a heart on the steering wheel. Drop their favorite snack in a bag. Plan a simple date at home. Send a flirty text out of nowhere. Little surprises, man, they say, I'm still thinking about you. Or, you matter to me. You're worth the effort. Surprises bring back the spark of the early days, the excitement, the curiosity, the joy. But as powerful as all these gestures are, if we leave God out, we're missing the most important piece. And that leads me to our 5th one. Invite God into the little moments. The most romantic thing you can do for your marriage is pursue Christ together. And men, I'm specifically talking to you. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just pray together before bed. Share one thing that you're grateful for each day. Read a quick verse or talk about it for a couple of minutes. Worship together. Worship together in the car when you're going somewhere. See, when you invite God into the little moments, He knits your heart together. Because intimacy isn't just physical or emotional. True intimacy is spiritual. And a couple that prays together, serves together, laughs together, loves with intention will always grow stronger. Now listen, you don't have to do all 5 gestures every day. Just pick one. One small, intentional act of love consistently. Because it's not about perfection. It's about pursuit. So small hinges, they swing great big doors. Little habits create big connection. Romance doesn't stay strong by accident, guys. It stays strong when we choose each other daily, just like Christ chooses us. So here's the good news. Keeping the romance strong doesn't require a grand gesture. It just takes tiny, consistent moments of love and pursuit. But sometimes, even when we start doing the small things, we realize the spark still feels low. Maybe there's a distance. Or maybe you've been hurt. Or maybe you're just both really tired. I get it. Bonnie and I feel that way all the time. We have teenagers. And in those seasons, you don't need gestures. You need to reignite the flame. And that's why I made this video, just for you. If you're ready to take the next step and rekindle romance when it feels like it's fading, I want you to watch this next video where I share 3 simple ways to bring back the spark when it feels like the flame's going out. I'll put the link right here and in the description below. So go check it out now, and I'll see you there.